In October of 2024, Indiana Pacers superstar Tyrese Haliburton signed a shoe deal with Puma. In the postseason of 2025, we saw him start bringing out this particular shoe that happened to be his new signature. And now we finally have that shoe in hand. Today we're checking out the Puma Hali 1. Let's get into it. What's going on, everybody? It's Mike from the Sneaker History Podcast, and we are back with another video. Guys, thank you so much for joining. I really do appreciate you for coming on back for another review. Guys, we're looking at one of my favorite segments of shoes, and that's going to be performance basketball. Now, if you've been paying attention, performance basketball has been having a moment again, in a good way that is. Been making waves, been trending upward as a lot of brands have been doing some really cool things, and really, basketball shoes are making their way off court again as a casual wear, which I'm super excited that more people are doing that again, because I never stopped. But the brand we're talking about today is going to be Puma, and since they've been back into the basketball realm, they've been doing some really cool things, and the latest cool thing to add to that list is going to be the Puma Hali 1. Now, first things first, I got to shout out the Puma family for sending this pair my way. I really do appreciate you guys, because as soon as I saw these on Tyrese Haliburton's feet during his postseason run last season, I knew these were going to be great. I was super excited about them. Now, mind you, I'm talking about these from a purely aesthetic and casual wear right now. I have not put these on court. I just got them a few days ago. But again, I told y'all I wear basketball shoes casually, so I gotta know how it feels just walking around, and that's the perspective I'm taking here today. Now, if you need more of a performance review, shout out to the homie Chris, aka Nightwing at Wear Testers. He had a good review out there, and I'm sure there's a couple others too that you can check out. But let's get into it, because this shoe is just really cool looking. So the shoe is designed by Salehe Bembury, and for any of those in the sneaker space or fashion, you guys know Salehe has worked with different brands, and now he's brought his talents over to Puma in their basketball and even some of the other shoes. I think he's a runner that's coming out as well. But I think for this, you know, that first kind of, hey, this is what we've done, this is what I've created, this is really cool. Now, the shoe itself is going to be a mesh upper. That's going to be a super tight knit mesh. You can see there's not any kind of holes or any spacing there. They want to make sure that this thing is going to be structurally sound while you're doing high performance moves on the court, whether it be a rec league player, of course, a player of Tyrese Haliburton's caliber. Now, of course, with mesh sneakers, you want to make sure those high wear areas are protected. So you're going to have right on the toe box here for any kind of toe drag. You're going to have fuse piece here that's going to be heat pressed on, kind of like the TPU, that really thin TPU. But right behind you have a second layer that's done up in kind of this felt type material. Now, you're going to see this sneaker is various blues. That's probably my only kind of little minuscule complaint about the shoe is the I'll say entry color, the release colorway, the first release colorway, whatever you want to call it. I can't think of a better way to say this, but we first saw the pink color that he wore on foot, and I was hoping that was going to be our release color, but we didn't get that. It's okay. This is the Opal colorway. Again, various blues. That's still very, very nice and clean shoe. I was just expecting one thing, and then of course we got the other. So no whining here. Just, you know, if I got to nitpick something, that's it. But anyway, let's move up to the shoe, to the eyelid area. You're gonna have your oval style laces we typically see on basketball sneakers, so nothing crazy there. This is the only set of laces. There are no alternate laces, which I think this teal color we're gonna talk about here is in different areas. I think that would have been a cool alternate if they wouldn't go that route. But it does sit on a mesh tongue. It's gonna have 2 layers of mesh, a super big open cell mesh weave here that's gonna sit up right on top of another really tightly knit mesh backing, so that way of course it is breathable, but also is gonna be super comfortable as well. So it's gonna be a pretty plush tongue, and on top you kind of have this, it seems like, I don't know what material it is. It almost seems like a rough neoprene. You know, neoprene is typically smooth, but this one seems to have a rough texture that's gonna be done up as well on the top. And it does have Tyrese Haliburton's logo, which I love his logo. I know the interlocking letters or initials of someone's name is pretty played out, but the way they've done it here, I don't know who designed it. I don't know if it's Salehe designed this logo along with the shoe or what, but it's really abstract. When you look at it, you're like, what am I seeing? But then you dig a little deeper, you're like, oh, it's a T and an H, Tyrese Haliburton. Really cool how they've done that. That is something that is, well, it kind of makes you sit and look at it. I think that's really cool. Now, again, since it is a mesh sneaker, you got to make sure you got some lateral containment for all the left and right motions you're doing in all the pivots. You're gonna have TPU that's gonna be heat pressed. I can't get the word out. Heat pressed across the sides, and a darker blue that gives the shoe a little bit of contrast, of course. And the TPU cage that's heat pressed on here is a little raised. So that way it gives some more depth and layering to the shoe, which I love that. And I like the fact that it's not just, hey, we're gonna put a couple lines here. It has function, but it also has a good look to it, as it seems to be a little bit more organic looking, not just these geometric shapes. Very organic looking, very flowy. I love how the shoe is kind of a fluid look to it, and you'll see that kind of across everything here. Now, as we get to the ankle collar area, you see you got some more TPU that's gonna be going from the top of the ankle collar down right underneath that cage. But you're gonna also have something that I didn't know that hadn't been done. I was reading an article with Salehe Bembury for Sports Illustrated Kicks, if I'm not mistaken, that's the name of it. And they typically always use a form stripe on Puma Performance in basketball. But this time they went a different route. They said, you know what, let's go ahead and throw the cat logo on there. And they put it right under where the ankle is, the ankle collar. And really cool about it is that it is very flowy. It flows with the direction of the shoe. It's not just slapped on there where it kind of stops the shoe, doesn't look fast anymore. But where they put it, it looks perfect where it is, like it's supposed to be there, and it just keeps the shoe moving in the right direction. So I like how they did that with a purpose and not just slapping the logo on to slap the logo on. So it makes perfect sense and looks good. Getting inside the shoe, you're going to have that blue mesh as well. And it's going to be you have your sock liner. It's going to have the Puma and of course Tyrese Halliburton logo in there. I did not pull these out because they're glued down super tight, so I'll kind of give you guys a peek for the back part I pulled up. Nothing crazy with the outs or with the insole. Typical foam insole you get in the Puma basketball. If you guys needed something a little bit more comfortable, or you have orthotics, you can of course rip that out and then put in your custom insole. Why can't I get the word insole out? Wow. Yeah, but you can do that of course, and whatever you need, interchange it. As we get to the back of the sneaker near the ankle collar and heel area, we have a little bit more mesh there. That's going to be the same as we saw on the underlayers of the top, but you're going to have a heel counter right here. Is going to be done up in a TPU with, again, the Halliburton branding. And again, I just like the way it looks. It's almost like alien-like. I think it just looks really good. Now, when we get down to the midsole, now this midsole, for any Salehe fans out there, I know this looks recognizable to you. It's that thumbprint pattern, but this time he put it on the basketball shoe, which I think works well. Again, gives that really flowy look. And you can see this on a lot of different sneakers he's worked on across brands. He brought it here to Puma, and it works perfectly for this design. I like that it's raised. It's not just something that's like etched on there, but there actually has this look, texture. You have, when the light hits it, you get these different shadows and bright points. It just looks good. I've always liked it on other shoes he's done, but especially on this Hali one, I think they've done a good job there. Now, within this midsole area, which is gonna have midsole, you're gonna have a little bit of the outsole wrapping up to the top on the lateral side, and of course on the toe box and medial side for all the different shifting and moving you do playing basketball. But contained within that, if you can see it, I know I can see it at least from where I'm sitting, but you see that kind of white piece going through the clear outsole? That's gonna be the nitro foam. So Puma basketball sneakers are typically going to be cushioned by nitro foam, but I gotta give a shout out to Chris and Wear Testers again, because I didn't realize that not every one of the Puma basketball shoes had a full slab of nitro foam. Typically it's either placed on a heel or the toe box, or a heel and forefoot, or pod in each one. But this is gonna be a full slab, and I can say, putting it on, it's a pretty comfortable shoe. It's not like super squishy because it is a performance basketball, but you can feel the comfort when you put it on. Of course, a little break-in time will make it softer, but I like the way it does fit and feel. Now, the outsole is going to be that Puma grip, which is going to be their rubber compound. This one's going to be done up translucent with all herringbone. It's super tight together. So putting this on court looks like you will get some pretty solid traction here. Again, I haven't tried, but when I do, I'll let you guys know. And I'm sure you didn't miss it, but you have the torsion plate or shank plate right here in the middle, done up in the TPU in that teal color. It's huge. Look at that. From the toe all the way down to the heel here. That's going to provide that rigidity, that stability, so that way you're not rolling this shoe, or the shoe's not twisting while you're playing in it. So if you didn't know what that is, now you know. Now, when they were creating this shoe, they built it from the ground up, and one of the things that Salehe said was most important to Tyrese was the weight. Now, if you know, before he signed his deal with Puma, Halliburton was playing Nikes. Predominantly, there you go, I got the word out, Kobe 5 Pro Tros and Kobe 6 Pro Tros. He did have some photos I saw on the GT cut line, but the Kobe seemed to be his go-to. So when they created the shoe, they wanted to make sure the weight was even better. And of course, the performance was better than what he was playing in before. And with that being said, I was talking to one of my buddies, and before I even read the article, he asked me how they fit, how they feel. I was like, man, you know what? Kind of gives me an elevated Kobe 6. And reading that, it makes sense. So give him that same feel of what he was used to. This gives me, I think, like I say, to me, Everyone's different because they have preference, but to me, this is an elevated version of what the Kobe 6 feels like. I think that it is a fantastic, fitting shoe. It is true to size, so I would definitely say try them on first, because basketball shoes can be weird on how the tightness fits. For me, I don't have an extra wide foot, I don't have an extra slim foot, so average, but they fit true to size to me in my size 10, and they feel good. But again, you are going to want to wear these a little bit because they are basketball shoes, so they're not automatically broken in, so the more wear, the better they feel. But I think if whatever you wear in a Kobe 6, if that's the shoe you're wearing now playing basketball, you want to try these, go with that. And whatever you wear in Puma basketball, I feel like you can go the same size as well. So that way, if you can't try them on or don't have the ability to, you know what to order. But always best practice to go in store and actually check them out. These are $130, which is awesome because basketball shoes can be ungodly expensive. So $130 is pretty solid, especially for what I think can be a solid performer. Again, I have not put them on court. I've heard great things about them through the other creators, and these are guys I trust their information. But also, I think these look good. If you're looking for a basketball shoe to do both, I think this is one that can do it on court, off court, whatever you feel like. But you guys let me know. Do you like the Puma Hali one? Do you not like it? Have you tried a pair? Or if you have tried a pair, what are your comparisons? You let me know down below. Until next time, guys. See ya.